I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on our agenda is citizens' time. Is there anyone? First item on our agenda is citizens' time. Anyone here to speak on citizen time online? And nobody in the room. Moving right along, we have appointments. Communications officer. Mr.
I can take that.
Oh, okay, Patrick, please do.
It's our honor to introduce our first communications officer, Laura Zakruski, who's with us here today. And Laura, you can come on up here. And I believe that all board members have had an opportunity to meet Laura at this point. If you remember, at the May 2025 town meeting, voters approved the FY26 operating budget, which included the position of communications officer. And really the idea behind it was thinking about how do we increase in community engagement? How do we increase that dialogue with the public? And we spent a lot of time with the board's input, drafting a job description, developing a strategy to recruit candidates. This was a process that we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen in quite a long time, with the number of applicants that we had, over 115, close to 120 applicants.
Well,
And what we did is we spent time interviewing about 40 of them in a screening process so that we could get to know as many candidates as possible. And so we referred to that as almost like a speed interview round. And then we brought all candidates that advanced to the next round to meet with several department heads from across the organization, departments that really interact with the public, that have an opportunity to really provide input into where our communications portfolio is going to take us. And that included an assessment process, so all the candidates had an assignment ahead of time. When we were going through this process in all of those, Laura added something a little different and something a little engaging that you might not see along those stages, even from an offer letter, which is usually sometimes pretty basic and boilerplate. There were things in Laura's cover letter that were really engaging and really caught our eye. And she even snuck in a really engaging presentation during our 10-minute speed round. So along the way, we were feeling really good about Laura's candidacy. Through that, we spent a day and a half with our department heads. So our department heads really devoted a big chunk of time into this process, so we were very thankful for them. And at the end of it, Laura was identified as our finalist, and like I mentioned earlier, came before the board. So assuming the board's approval, Laura is going to be starting October 20th. Laura comes with some agency background working for high visibility nonprofit clients. We think that the diversity of her experience is going to translate really well. And we're excited to have her on board, and I'm excited to welcome Laura Zakruski as our first communications officer for the town of Burlington.
thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions or comments? I'm going to go to Nick first. I know this is a big moment. You've championed this, and I want to let you speak first.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Absolutely. This was the notion of communications and the importance of engaging the community has been a top billing feature of something that I've been after since I ran in 2018 and 2019. It is crucial, and I think that it's not just me saying that, right? We have stepped over the last 6 years talking about how we can engage better with the community, how we can create more visibility for what the town is doing, and how to engage, residents in participating in that process. We took the time to do the Collins Center report, which, again, amongst many other things, recommended a role like this because of the linchpin nature of this role, right? Having somebody in the office on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, driving toward the strategic goals that we're after, right? I am over the moon that we're here, right? Like truly over the moon. This is something that I've been looking forward to for 6 years, that I think that, again, I would ask the community to temper their expectations. This isn't something that we can just jump in a month and see magic happen, right? I think that in the coming months, as Laura gets onboarded, understanding how we're going to look at metrics and, kind of track different areas of growth towards success is really important. But this is an awesome step in the right direction. For Laura specifically as a candidate, I was super excited by her resume. Very much enjoyed our conversation that we got to have a couple weeks ago. Very much looking forward to her in this role. It's a yes 1,000 times over, from me. Thank you.
Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, it's an exciting time here in Burlington. We got a new economic development director a couple of years ago, Melissa, and that has paid off over and over again. Now, with Nick's leadership behind it, we have our first communications officer. When I had my sit down with Laura, I loved her enthusiasm. She is very, very enthusiastic. And I think we're going to have some really good things come out of her. That combined with the new message board, the town's residents have been asking for more communication, better communication. Well, I think this board here is doing a great job of trying to get that accomplished. One, the message board. Nick, through your leadership, now we have Laura. But it's an exciting time for Burlington. I think this is a great opportunity. And Laura, I'm 1,000% behind you too. And expect a lot of good things out of you. So, thank you.
Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I'm going to keep it short because they've already said everything. When you get down, Sarah will have some stuff, but I won't. So I'll just say thank you. Smarter than me. So anyway, just thank you for putting the application in, because if we didn't know about it, it wouldn't have happened. And from what I saw, it was fantastic. So welcome aboard and all the best for us in the town.
Thank you.
Sarah?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm really excited to have you, Laura. I am thrilled to be here as well. I feel like it's been a long road going back to the communication study that we did when was that, 2019? 2020?
Feels like it.
Yeah, all the way back there, which recommended we do this role. Now, 5 years later, we're here. So I feel like I've been advocating for something like this since before I've been on this board. And so I'm hopeful that this will help to unify our messaging as a town, be proactive about our messaging, and rather than reactive, and then hopefully just engage more people in the community with what's going on in town. And that's kind of the goal here. And really excited to have you specifically, Laura, with your background and your energy. I think you'll be a great fit for the town, and I look forward to working with you and to see what you have to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, the board said pretty much everything. It's a very exciting day in Burlington. It's something we've all wanted for a long time, and I think we should, as Nick said, temper kind of the expectation here. This is a new position for Burlington, and as well as learning the position and carving out the position, Laura will also be getting to know all of our department heads and how we work. So let's have some patience and give her a little bit of time to get up to speed. But we do have big expectations, and we're very excited. I got a chance to look at a lot of the resumes, and yours was very impressive. I think the selection committee did a great job in picking out someone who's going to be great for the job. And you really found a way to stand out in the crowd of over 100 resumes, which is a credit to you. And I guess in my next job hunt, I'll be talking to you to find out, to get some ideas. I mean, one of the things on your resume was pop culture aficionado.
Yeah, connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
Same thing, yes.
So I look forward to many times of testing this to see how correct it was. So very happy that you're here, very happy that you're on board. And if there's anything any of us can do to help you along, please do not hesitate to reach out. We're a great team. Everyone's friendly, and we're all excited for you. We want to see you succeed and want to give you all the support and everything you need to do a good job, which I know you will.
Thank you all so much for your kind words, and I'm so excited for this opportunity, and I can't wait for my start date.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Patrick or John, want to add anything?
Yes, so, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm all you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, excited, I'm glad Patrick talked a little bit about the process. I'm sure it was a grueling process for the applicants, but it was very thorough and hopefully a sign of the process we'll use going forward for such important positions. It was great. So it's with great enthusiasm that I appoint Laura Zakruski as the Communications Officer for the town of Burlington, effective October 20th, and I ask the board to waive their 15-day waiting period.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. The chair is also aye. That's 5-0. Welcome aboard. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is the first obstacle course test.
Laura?
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Training begins immediately.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Welcome.
I'm so excited.
We are too.
Thank you.
Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. All right, moving on with more excitement. Some approval for some health insurance rates. Patrick, you want to start the excitement here?
Sure, and welcome Treasurer DeRosa to the table as well. So just to kick it off briefly before turning it over to Anna. The Treasurer's Office is here tonight to talk about our employee health insurance rates for effective January 1, 2026. And I just want to thank Anna and Christine and the entire Insurance Advisory Committee that we went before to talk about the health insurance rates effective January 1. So the last couple of years, we've seen some pretty big trend changes for healthcare costs nationwide, and even more so in our subscriber base here in Burlington. So if you're not aware of how it works, or if you're listening from home, Burlington provides active employees and retirees under 65 with health insurance through a self-insured trust. It's a mechanism in Massachusetts that allows us to sort of mitigate the cost of risk that you would pay if you were to go to a traditional insurance plan. And then we sort of contract with administrators to manage the claims process. But through the health trust, we develop that we have our town contribution that goes into that and the employee contribution. And as we look at that, we need to develop a health trust that maintains a healthy claims reserve for high-cost claims. We have things to mitigate that. But we really took an approach at making sure that we are developing a balance in the trust that is healthy and also responsive to the national claims experience as well as our local claims experience. So the rate increase that we're looking at this year is a 14% rate increase, which is the highest in many years, but looking back at the last several years, I still think that we are below, sort of the national trends because we've been able to manage those costs through the trust through some experience there. We brought this recommendation to the Insurance Advisory Committee, which is composed of management representatives, representatives from all the town and school unions, as well as our retirees. Despite this being a pretty large increase, or the largest increase in many years, the IAC was unanimous in their recommendation of approving it based on all the info that Anna was able to share, our health insurance consultant, and really where we are nationwide with a number of changes from policy perspectives to just the costs of medical care. So with that, I'll kick it over to Anna to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, so so as we're talking about just the Blue Cross Blue Shield and Harvard Pilgrim, the self-insured plans with the 14%. So some reasons for the increase would be over the past year, we've seen a significant rise in claims. We've had prescription drug prices have increased at a rate far beyond inflation. There's been increased utilization. There's people, after COVID, people are going back to the doctors more. Preventative care, elective surgeries, and chronic condition treatments have all rebounded. So as a self-insured group, we're trying to maintain adequate reserves to cover large and expected claims, and we want to ensure financial stability and avoid deficits. So we're just adjusting our rates to reflect current and projected claim trends. And healthcare costs are rising nationally, and in Massachusetts, while we are the top leader in the healthcare industry, we also have highest costs in the country. We're also managing these costs while working with our benefits consultants and stop-loss carriers to protect against catastrophic claims. We have also included in this 14% that we are going to GLP-1s coverage. We're going to be using it solely for medical necessity. So people that are going in to just get it for weight loss will no longer be covered. It's just another way to help us kind of bring that to a 14%. It's not something that we have to take away forever. If in the future we find that it's something that we can bring back, we will bring it back. We do recognize the impact this will have on some employees, so we're going to be actively exploring wellness programs and lifestyle support initiatives aimed at helping employees continue their physical and mental health goals. And just overall, in general, we understand that a 14% increase is significant. This wasn't a decision that we made lightly. It reflects the reality of current healthcare costs and our responsibility to maintain a sustainable and high-quality health plan for our employees and their families. For the, just to go over the premiums for the Medicare, the Blue Cross, so these ones are fully funded, so they're set by the carriers. We have Blue Cross MedX, that's 18.505%. Blue Cross Managed Blue, it's at 13.39% increase. Harvard Medicare Enhanced is at 7.2, and the Tufts Preferred HMO is at 4.96.
Yeah, and just to talk a little bit about what we're seeing trend-wise in other municipal costs, these are in line, or if not lower, than what we're seeing in our peer communities, especially with the MedX. So the 18% increase, that's for our Medicare supplement plan. So these are optional plans that retirees over 65 that are on Medicare can opt into. Those have taken a really big hit over the last couple of years, some plans as high as 30%. A big element was that some of the changes in the Inflation Reduction Act related to the amount of services that plans provide. Obviously, those have cost implications, and those have even more cost implications for our senior populations. So those are fully insured, not from the Health Insurance Trust, so those are more related to the actual costs from those carriers, as Anna said. But, cost of health insurance is obviously a big part of the recruiting and retention tool when we think about our employees as well. So that's also something we're benchmarking and mitigating through our self-insured program because it's a more and more competitive workplace marketplace for employees. So that's a big thing that we think about. And as Anna mentioned, thinking about wellness initiatives, I had a meeting with our new HR director and our HR coordinator last week, thinking about and sort of challenging them to think about wellness a little bit differently. Not necessarily just, hey, we're having a walking competitions or get your steps in. We want to think about it a little bit holistically. Wellness from the time an employee wakes up to when they go to bed, thinking about all those things that contribute to a healthy employee. With the idea that a healthy employee is a successful employee, a strong employee, dedicated service worker to the community. So we're thinking about things very dynamically and challenging employees a little bit. So thank you for your consideration.
Okay, with that, I'll open it up to the board for any questions or comments. Start with Sarah.
I have nothing right now, thank you.
Joe?
I'm all set, thank you.
Amy?
Nothing here.
Nick?
Yeah, thank you. First off, thank you guys. You know how much we appreciate you guys and everything that you do. 14% is a lot. I'm really happy to hear, Patrick, that, we're challenging each other for alternatives and considerations. I think we're in for a really weird time. And I think that we, as a local municipality, need to really start thinking outside the box. I don't know what the hell that means in this particular moment. I know none of us do. I would encourage all of us to really start having conversations out loud about these kinds of things. Because, 14% this year, it's not going to go down next year, right? And we're putting a squeeze on a lot of folks. And no matter how healthy someone is, right, if they can't afford to stay here, right, it doesn't matter how good of an employee they are. I know these things are very, very apparent, and you are very, very aware of them. I think it's important that the public hears us having these conversations too. That we really need to start thinking outside the box and finding unique ways to help our employees and help members of the community. Because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is a large number, and, one of the things we looked at in the, what is the context of that percentage increase, right? So over the last 4 years, there's been a 0%, there's been a 4%, there's been a 2 or 2.5%. When you look at the GIC, which is increasing about 9% a year in each of those years. So when the Group Insurance Commission, the GIC, they provide health insurance to the state workforce in 20 or 30 municipalities. They've been at 9% the last 4 or 5 years. So one of the out-of-the-box things here is, yes, we are sort of right-sizing the increase and thinking about, our health trust from a long-range financial planning perspective too. What are the ways that Anna and I have been talking about another number of strategies to think out of the side the box to provide services. But, one of the things that we take seriously is sort of the plan design, no changes in the plan design and coverages, the things that are with the exception of the GLP-1 change, which all insurers are making that change for January 1 because it's how much has been lost from a financial perspective. We think about those things a lot because our employees are with us for most of their day, most of their waking hours are here serving the community. And, when you think about employees that work for the town, I'd venture to guess, I haven't done the math quite yet, but probably 60 to 70% of our workforce are emergency responders, whether they're DPW, police, fire. We've seen nationwide the stress that's put on people who have to have their phone on loud 24/7 for good parts of the year. Yeah. And so we have to really be challenging ourselves to think outside the box, specifically for those people who have to think about work a lot more than some of us.
Right.
So thank you for your support on that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, Nick kind of stole my, you want to add something?
No, I had a bug. I was
okay.
flapping him away. Sorry.
Nick kind of stole my thunder with the 14%. It's a big number, and as we've seen all across the board, everything's going up, the price of everything, inflation, and it's kind of unfortunately our reality at this point. I trust that you guys did the very best you could in trying to make sure it's as fair as possible on both sides, so I have no doubt. So thank you for all the hard work that you did on it, and it's unfortunate, but we have to deal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You just add, having sat in those meetings for 7-8 years now, I can tell you that the years where we had zeros or twos or fours, it was very clear, and Mr. Giannino was pushing hard to not have that, to say, and everybody went into it with open eyes, that at some point there's going to be a reckoning, there's going to be a right sizing, but that was the plan going forward. So I think with the thoughtful approach they're taking now, we're going to right size it. We're going to be honest as we go forward and not try to artificially. What happened big during COVID was there were so many, there was a few years where really nobody was either going to the doctors or the federal government was picking up the tab for stuff.
Right.
And our claims rate our claims were well below what we were budgeting. So it was sort of a thoughtful decision to say, okay, let's use that savings and sort of give it back to the employees in the town.
Yeah.
I would like to add, sorry, that we are working on the educational piece because a lot of people don't realize that if you just go to your doctor instead of going to like a clinic for some things, that the costs can be a little bit different. So we are looking at the approach of educating the employees and letting them know higher deductible plans too are available, and while a higher deductible plan may seem scary, the town does give back and reimburse for some of these, and they are good options for people, so we're trying to get that educational piece out there as well.
Sarah, did you want to add something?
I just had a question as you're talking about right-sizing the increase. Does that mean that we're sort of bringing our rates up to what comparable municipalities' rates are?
I think from a percentage point of view, yes. I mean, that's part of it, right? And part of it is making sure that we don't necessarily need to have many years of double-digit increases where we can sort of right-size it now to a point where we're probably looking at 6, 7, 8% increases in the future. What we are trying to do is get to a place where we're sort of more even with or consistent with our rate increases so that the health trust balance can support it appropriately and that we can be in the market for other municipal, it's something that varies pretty widely from municipality to municipality based on premium splits, based on the experience of the population, whether they're self-insured. But yes, the goal is to bring us in a more consistent place where we're following national trend, which is around 7%. So if we can be in that 7%, 7 to 8% per year, I think that's what we're looking at for the longer term. But we just have to sort of, make that one time, hopefully, a one-time significant adjustment, and then monitor the market a little closer.
Okay, I guess I'm just trying to grasp the full picture of it, and if this is a double-digit bump for if every town or city is looking at this, or if this is sort of because of our...
No, yeah, that's a good question, too. Yeah, most city and towns are looking at this double-digit increase between the 9 to 18%.
I've seen 20.
Yeah, we've seen,
20 places.
There was a really big sort of municipal summit on this last week, and, they're seeing in the double digits that start with 2, not 1. So this is not something that we're in a unique position in, but it's a position that we can sort of have an edge moving forward if we are sort of consistent with our rate increases.
Okay, that's good to hear that there was some sort of summit on it. I just wondering if there needs to be an alarm sounded at the state level so that like MMA, Mass Municipal Association could get involved and think of some ideas, bigger ideas to.
And that's a big part of what they hosted this session, and there were like 250 municipal representatives there, so from across the state. So it's definitely something they're looking at. This is sort of stemming from federal changes from even 2-3 years ago that are now coming on, and we're hoping, there's been a lot of innovations in the market too, when you look at what GLP-1s have done to, insurers like Blue Cross and Harvard, and so we're following that too, but we're hoping to find, a plateau in sort of the marketplace that has been sort of erratic in the last several years.
Thank you very much for all your work on this.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else with a final comment? All right, with that, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the health insurance rates for 2026 as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain? Chair is also aye. That's 5-0 approved.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
very much.
Thanks, Anna.
Thanks, Anna.
Okay, next item on the agenda is an approval for the Disabilities Access Commission, and I'll take this one. We've seen this one before. It's kind of a housekeeping thing. I know everyone here knows what it is, but for the sake of people watching who may not, the Disabilities Access Commission, one of their charges is to take the money from handicap parking fines and reallocate them to help out programs in town that benefit people with disabilities, whether it be through Parks and Rec or other things around town, like the program that makes our town website accessible for people with certain disabilities. I forget the name of it. So they do a lot of great things, and it's fun to be on that subcommittee, reallocating that money towards good causes. And again, these fines are people who are parking illegally in handicapped spots, which one of the few things that drives me so crazy is people just running in. And we find that a lot of them these days are kind of delivery drivers, DoorDash and stuff like that. They say they're just running in for a minute to grab their order and run out, and that's where they're getting caught. So what we want to do here is Disabilities Access Commission is asking if they can allocate $5,000 of their money to be set aside to process appeals And we do this every few times a year. And what they do is the commission also processes appeals. People will write in and say, no, that wasn't me. And usually Jen in the office will send back a photo of the offense and with the car in question and the license plate. And our police officers do a great job of, when they write a ticket for a parking offense violation in handicap, that they get the evidence, snap a picture, and get all the details. So if they do, in fact, appeal it, we have the backup to show them. So DAC is just asking if they can set aside $5,000 of their funds for appeals, and it's something we do all the time. Any questions on this? With that, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve the Disabilities Access Committee's request, $5,000 to be used for covering the cost of handicap parking appeals.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 5-0 approved. Next item on our agenda is a general license for Van Leeuwen Ice Cream. We have someone here for that. Online, we have a hand waving. Good evening. If you can unmute yourself and then introduce yourself and let us know what we're looking to do tonight, please.
Sure, thank you. So my name's Daniel Brennan. I'm a permit license consultant. I'm handling permits and licenses for Van Leeuwen in the region. Van Leeuwen is an ice cream shop based out of Brooklyn. I do also have Zach, who's part of the Van Leeuwen team. Not sure if you want to add him to the conversation. He's the construction manager. But basically, this is a new ice cream shop going in the Burlington Mall. Former Audubon Pond space, and it's just a small space, just over 1,700 square feet, has 15 seats, obviously just operating during the mall hours of 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and then on the weekends, Friday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. The planned opening is next Thursday, so October 16th. We just got our certificate of occupancy today, and looking forward to join the town.
Great, thank you very much. I'll now open up to the board for any questions or comments. Anybody have any? No?
I can make a comment.
Joe?
Are they Red Sox fans or no?
Yep, definitely.
They are tonight. They are
Don't be
tonight.
Mets fans.
Well, that's
I'm a remote construction manager and Braves fans. I was pulling for you guys.
It was a good series, that's all I'll say.
Sarah, you have anything?
Was that?
Okay, no, you good?
Oh, good.
Nope, just want to say welcome to town.
So I had a quick question. Everybody likes ice cream. What makes your ice cream special? And one's going to make us all going to come down on the 16th to try it out.
A lot of things. I'm not the person to speak to this because I just build them, but the flavors, it's all natural ingredients, and there's the different flavors that that we run out. We do 4 seasonal flavors every quarter, and we do like quarterly scoop shifts that I even get to go scoop ice cream at our shop here in Atlanta. But they just come up with really creative flavors and stuff like that. And next time it's our 8th shop in the Boston area, but next time you're near one, I recommend trying the honeycomb or coffee avocado.
Sounds great. All right. I have nothing else. Everything looked like it was in order. So with that, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve the general license for Van Leeuwen Ice Cream at 75 Middlesex Turnpike.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? That's 5-0. Congratulations. Welcome to Burlington, and happy serving ice cream.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next item on our agenda is a public hearing. It's for Tuscan Kitchen. So I guess we need a...
Open it, we have to accept the advertisement.
So we're going to open the public hearing, and
I make a motion, we accept the advertisement as written.
Second.
motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 5-0. So the advertisement has been accepted as written. And now we can, good evening, gentlemen. If you could introduce yourselves and let us know what we're going to do tonight, or would like to do.
I'm Max Farrow. This is Chris Labella. We are here for an alteration of premises and a change in DBA for what was Tuscan Kitchen and what is now going to be Sorella. And basically what we're doing is a full facade renovation to the exterior. On the interior, we'll be updating finishes, expanding our PDR, and moving the bar.
Okay. Have you been in front of the planning board for site approval and all that yet, or is that upcoming?
So we did what was an insignificant change permit.
Okay.
The special permit that was already done originally for Tuscan
Okay,
Kitchen.
so you don't have to, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll open up to the board for any questions or comments.
I have a question.
Sarah?
I guess I'm just curious about what the change in concept is from what it is now to what it's going to be, because it said it was changing to a upscale Italian concept. I feel like that's what it is, isn't it?
It is. We'll focus a little bit more on the lunch aspects, and it was more of a hearty Italian, three-course meal concept to maybe more of a more casual, fast-paced, a little bit lighter Italian concept.
I think that we feel that like the life cycle of restaurants needs to be continuously evolving, and the dining landscape has changed a lot. So we're opening up a little bit lighter, brighter, a little bit more modern of a feel and approach, as well as layout change. No square footage change or anything.
Okay, yeah, I looked at the layout. Didn't really know what the change was because I couldn't see the before and after, and it's hard to look at those, renderings to figure out what's changing. So I'm just, is there going to be any changes to the exterior, other than the signage, obviously?
Yeah, there'll be a full facade renovation. So the facade that's there now has actually already been demoed, and it'll be a new masonry facade with some fiber cement as well.
Okay. Good, well, I'm interested to see the changes that come about, and good luck.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I guess silly question for me.
Italian.
Huh?
Italian.
It's Italian. Oh, see, I knew. No, I was more curious, knowing how much Tuscan Kitchen did for the community, especially around, Veterans Day. I was curious if your relationship with the Tuscan brand, if there was one, or if you guys were taking over. I forgive me, because I usually do more homework in this, but I want to understand that relationship and if you guys were going to be kind of picking that up as well.
So none of that will change. So it is definitely just a new concept within Tuscan Brands. Well, if you noticed in the beginning, Tuscan Brands has evolved. We started with Tuscan Kitchen in several different locations, and now we've evolved into more concept-driven platforms. So Newburyport is Tuscan Sea Grill. We now have the Tuscan Village, and this is just sort of continuing that evolution. So Veterans Day, you brought that up. We actually have plans. So Wendy, who's been working with us in Burlington forever, we're basically going to be inviting all of our guests to either our Salem location or our Boston location. We worked with our developer in Boston to allow for parking, because Seaport parking, so they've donated, I believe it's 75 to 100 spots for the day. So anybody that doesn't have the ability to pay for parking in the Seaport will be welcome in Salem and in Boston. And then in the future, absolutely, we'll be doing Veterans Day again. It's something that we love. I've been involved since 2010 with Veterans Day, and it always brings a lot of joy to all of, obviously all of our guests and all of our staff that donate their time.
Awesome. Love to hear that. My brother lives in Salem, New Hampshire. Watching the Tuscan Village grow over there has been absolutely incredible. It's really interesting to watch the brand evolve over time, kind of like you said. And this looks very interesting. So appreciate that. Appreciate everything you guys do with the community. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anybody else? Yeah, to echo Nick, I'm very glad that you'll continue the Veterans Day tradition. Thank you very much for that. That's a great thing you do for our veterans, and it's always great to recognize them and remember, and to make sure they're remembered and not forgotten. So it's very cool to see that every year, and I'm glad to see it's going to continue. This is a public hearing, so I'm going to open it now to members of the public. Is there anyone here on the public who wants to speak on this issue?
There's nobody here.
I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
Motion's been made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. 5-0, the public hearing is now closed. Any final comments or questions before we move to a motion for approval or denial? All right, we'll take a motion.
Oh, I do have one
Oh,
question.
okay.
When do you expect it to be completed and opened?
Shoot it for January. So right after the new year, we'll start training, a few weeks. Hopefully by the end of January, we'll be open again for the public.
So for the Veterans Day this year, we'll be moved to Boston and Salem. Going forward, we'll be back in Burlington.
100%.
Awesome, that's great. All right, with that, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve of the Tuscan Kitchen LLC doing business as Tuscan Kitchen 24 District Ave, change of DBA and alteration of premises.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Chair's also aye. 5-0. Congratulations, good luck. We look forward to seeing you in January.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Guys, thank you all.
All right, moving right along to subcommittee reports. Anybody want to go first? Jim? Oh, you.
well-
Chosen.
Went, not sure if I mentioned it last time, Diwali, went to Diwali this past Sunday, and again, just a lot of people there, a lot of color, a lot of activity, and the best thing is, oh, I mentioned this at the
You
high
did.
school. I did not have to do this, yes. So that was the only thing I went to recently.
Okay. Nick, do you have anything?
Nope.
Sarah?
I just want to start by saying that at the last Monday's town meeting approved the funding for the Burlington High School. However, it has to go to a townwide vote, so I'm starting as long as they approve the funding for the election tonight, that will go to election on November 15th, Saturday, and it's a special election focusing solely on whether we want a new high school in Burlington. So just starting to get the word out about that, and hopefully people can learn more about the project from now until the election and see whether they want to vote in support of it. I'm really hoping for a high turnout for this. This is a really important issue in town. So yeah, just spread the word, November 15th. Thanks.
Thank you. Joe?
Nope.
Joe's good. I only have one thing tonight. It's in the upcoming weeks, the police department will be moving to their temporary location at 171 Middlesex Turnpike. That's the old Vinebrook Water Treatment Plant for their temporary home while we build the new station. I'm expecting a seamless transition, and everything will pretty much remain the same as far as what they do, except for where they're physically located. Their phone number will stay the same. It's 781-272-1212, and for emergencies, always 911. So they should be moving the next few weeks from 45 Center over to Middlesex Turnpike, and we wish them happy moving and hope everything goes smoothly, because I can't imagine what's going to go into that. And that's all I had for tonight, and I'll leave it to our town administrator if you have anything you want to add.
Nothing to add tonight.
Patrick, you want to add anything?
Nothing, Mr. Chairman,
All
thank you.
good. With that, I'll take a motion.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? 5-0. We are adjourned.